All right, good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are we all going? I was a minute late. Oh no. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a free bass workshop. Now, what's going to happen is I don't think too many people are going to join in on this one, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me. Hey, how you going, Evan? I don't mind having a small group. This is a completely free lesson where we can openly discuss everything, where you can ask me whatever you want to know about bass guitar, where you can ask me anything you want to know about the music industry, where you can ask me anything about being in bands and all that. Hey, Nolan, how you going? So we are going to talk about any subject you guys want for the next kind of hour or two. We'll see how it goes. But it's no limits. You just tell me exactly what you want to talk about regarding bass. It can be to do with tone. It can be to do with gear. It can be to do with being in a band. What's it like being in a band? All right, let's talk about band work. All right, so do you mean multiple aspects of being in a band? So we're going to narrow down in on that, if we can, Evan. What particular aspect of being in a band? Do you mean like working in a band, like making it your job? Or do you mean the aspect of, let's say, you are in a band creative process, in a band in terms of requirements? Let's drill in on that because it's a very wide subject. I better move this. Doing it as a job, awesome. So it's quite taxing and you have to have multiple ways around it, right? Now, before I answer this, Evan, let's be a little bit more specific. Do you want to know how it is as a bass player, or do you mean a job in general in comparison to other jobs? Because it's a weird subject and it's kind of hard to nail in on. And during this kind of medium of using YouTube, we have to have like, as a bass player, awesome. All right, cool. So, what's it like being a bass player in a band? Amazing, firstly, right? So, one of the most amazing things in my life is being able to be a bass player, right? And within that comes some serious roles. And there comes a lot of musicianship and there's a lot of ego that has to be cast aside. So my job as a bass player within a band is to be able to support the singer/songwriter as best as possible. If there's a creative input that needs to be done, I have to do that. Now, as a bass player, one of the biggest things when you're in a band is understanding your role. And understanding the dynamic of the band isn't to suit you, it's to suit what you're trying to do as a collective. And that collective is the band. Now, when you're in the band, for instance, I'm in a country band. Since I'm in a country band, I have to understand kind of the basics of I have to understand the variance of what kind of bass covers we might do. What kind of country covers we might do, or rock covers or everything. And one of the misconceptions is how I play online. People assume that's going to be how I play in person, when that's not true at all. The way I approach bands is completely different to the way I approach online content. So being in a band as a bass player is completely about the role that you fulfill in the band. It's kind of like if you get hired to be a electrician, you're not going to start going around being a concreter. It doesn't work that way. If you get hired to be an accountant, you're not suddenly going to be a salesman. It's the same thing. So when you are listed as the bass player or you get the job, you got to do that. But one of the important things, we'll keep going. That's a whole question. But yeah, anyway, in summary, Evan, it's a very, very cool job to have. It's very promising. It can be difficult at times. There's a lot of difficulties in the music industry and a lot of uncertainties, but that is what it is. Anyway, keep the questions coming. So I ended up going with the Black Eagle today. The reason I chose the Black Eagle over the other basses, even though I prefer playing the other ones most of the time, is Black Eagle for teaching is a lot easier. I didn't know what kind of questions we're going to have thrown my way. So any other questions about tone, gear, gigging, playing shows, life within the music industry in general, utilize this time while you have it. It's all free information. I've got pretty rough hands today. That's another thing. Got really bad hands today. It's a cold day. And one of the hardest things about cold days is my hands can seize up. That's a big ukulele. That's exactly right, Retro Gaming. It's a massive ukulele. It's funny though, it does have the same amount of strings as a typical ukulele. How would you get into the music industry if there's not any by you? Cool, man. This is a fantastic question. So, I live in a very, very small town. And people call me crazy because I drive 4 to 5 hours for a rehearsal with my band. That's a completely true fact. I'm soon to be moving to a place north of Brisbane. That'll take that trip down to 2 hours for band practice and whatnot. However, the two kind of factors that you have on your side play somewhere over the road. I'm not taking requests at the moment, mate. Sorry, because we're doing lessons. So, Evan, the thing with the music industry now is there's two parts. You do have to physically be somewhere to be in a band. However, you can get to a point within the music industry where you're kind of well known enough. For instance, me, particularly on YouTube and on Instagram and whatnot, where people understand I can show up to a gig and I'll be able to play whatever they throw it at me. That's fine. So, there's two ways to get into the music industry if there's nothing near you. Social media. Hello, Riley Jordan Adam. Social media is a big one, or you can move. They're the only two options you have. Don't complicate things in the way that you approach the music industry. People will often be like, oh, well, my band's going to do this, my band's going to do that. That's the next thing. Getting to a profitable band. It is not hard to be a profitable band. So yeah, man, move. Social media, get good at social media. Don't just post. You got to have a think about what you do. One of the things I'm not particularly good is I'm good at live streams. I'm good at discussions. I'm good at short form content. However, I know my weak point is actually long form content. I'm not that good at it. It's something I need to brush up on. It's something I need to learn. I know in band scenarios that I'm reliable. I can arrive on time. I can learn the songs like the back of my hand. Everything's okay in that department. I'm not concerned about myself ever in a band environment. Long form content though seems to weigh me down a bit. However, I can teach lessons like the back of my hand and I can do everything else. Particularly when it comes to abstract qualities of the instrument and abstract qualities of discussions. Like when I teach lessons, primarily I don't touch much bass. Get the questions rolling, everyone. We're only going to be here for an hour or two. Good morning, cold man. Hello, mate. I am cold. I'm very cold. The problem was I only had these old red pants. My jeans are in the wash. Do you have any advice how to make a solo bass piece to go with singing no other instruments? Yeah, so that's an interesting question, Riley, and I think it deserves some attention. So when you ask this, are you asking from a general kind of perspective, or do you want my personal advice on how to make a piece of art in which you sing along to it? Or are you looking to do it in a band scenario and it builds up, like an intro by itself? Just a little bit more detail there, and I'll be able to give an answer. Both. All right, cool. Play your favorite days. Yeah, everyone loves this. So for now. Okay, cool. So the thing I would learn, right? And this is songwriting for advice for anyone that's playing on bass. Typically, when you play bass, people will talk about like diminished chords, or they'll talk about suspended chords or anything, learn a major and a minor shape on bass, right? So if you got this is a C major, and then that's a A minor, G major. Now I just played a bunch of chords, but they only utilize 2 shapes. You don't need to know every single chord shape to start songwriting, right? Like the song, my favorite band in the world, the 975. Yeah. So I heard. Sorry, I haven't sung today. You found somebody else. Not warmed up, so forgive me. So it's just you found 2 majors. Somebody else goes to a minor, and first I thought it was a lie. Goes up to the minor. It's just 3 chords. That makes sense. And then he plays this chord, which is an E minor, but it's the same shape. The entire song, which is one of the biggest songs ever written, it's a massive song. Massive. Look up Somebody Else by the 975. There is not any abstract chords within that song. So, what do we look at with that? You could write a song in the domain of utilizing the bass as a composing instrument. However, the bass in the song is right? So what do we learn there? Is that not only can we play the chords and it will sound pretty, and we don't have to learn many shapes to be successful with songwriting, the alternative part of that is, that doesn't necessarily mean, like, if you write it solo, it doesn't mean it's how it's going to transcribe when you come into a band context if you get more musicians. They might they might fill that realm for you, which ideally they would anyway, because we're not on a lead instrument, we're on bass, right? Do you have any tips for finger playing like they're traditionally picked? Oh, okay. How about this, Evan? Give me an example. And we can have it. I can play most chords like major, minor, yep. And I can play jazz, blues pretty well, but rock and metal is very hard for me. Yeah. And that's an exposure thing, right? So there's a few types. Okay, Long View by Green Day. I'll write that down. Give me 1 sec. I'll come back to that in a second, Evan. So rather, that's an exposure thing. So you need to look at it from the context of, you may have heard that stuff a lot, but you've got to practice it. And the same thing can happen as well, where someone will practice a genre a lot, but they don't listen to it heaps, so they don't get climatized to stigmas and stereotypes within it, which can be a good thing from a purely songwriting perspective, because you've got a fresh input. So we're going to have a quick look at Long View by Green Day, apparently traditionally with a pick, right? I'll use a pick. I've got a lot of hand problems today, but that's because it's cold and because I've overplayed for the last 3 months. It's finally caught up with me. So let's have a listen to the Long View for 2 seconds. All right. Okay, that's easy. But, or whatever note it was. Okay. Okay. Oh, they're half a step down. Okay. No? Alright. Hey, I'm going to put it down half a step. Make my life a lot easier right now. Still waking up, dude. Alright. Down half a step, surprisingly. Alright. And then you got the whole like. Right? So, let's have a look at that. Right, I assume that's what you're talking about. So how would I approach it with a pick, or without a pick? Having a 6-string bass is very interesting to me. Yeah, I'd like to change to a 6-string at some point. So, Evan, with Long View, right, I would approach it like this. Just play however you feels comfortable with your like plucking hand, right? Like kind of do a little rake there. Sorry. I'm still learning. I haven't really heard this song before. That bit's a bit weird, but it's not hard. It is. Hey, Anthony, it is an Ibanez Black Eagle. And then this is probably the bit you're a bit more curious on. I actually, instead of like going, you can pluck it, but I would change my technique. And that's something that's quite underrated when you're a bass player, is learning how to strum and go between it. That's so awesome, man. The Chris Noah said, yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly right. It's not the reason I got it. I just got it because it was cool. That's literally it. I came out of hospital a few years ago. I was like, hey, I really like Black Eagles. I'm going to go buy one. So I just went and bought one. That's literally the whole story. Yeah, man. I thought it would be that part because it's a bit strange. But if you got this, one thing you can do is, hey, AP, how you going? I just saw you were on live stream, but I started mine. So, the way I approach that is if you go, so, I'd probably practice that, just like playing octaves, so 7 on the A, 9 on the G, just pluck. You go add in that D note, like the song. Except they normally got to pick, don't they? Yeah, so practicing like that, and then adding the D. You can practice slow. It's about getting the consistent rhythm, which is where it becomes not hard necessarily, but it becomes quite difficult to gauge. Alright, keep the questions rolling. Again, it's like a free little bass workshop for the day. But Reflection by Tool. I'm not going to look up any more covers unless it's associated with a lesson in some kind of segment. But that's all. I do enough covers through the week, mate. But I probably will do more covers later today. And plus I'm having hand problems today. Having a lot of hand problems, a lot of hand issues today because it's very, very cold where I am. But not just that. Primus, Tommy the Cat, not happening, dude. Not happening this morning. Actually, it wouldn't happen any day. I don't like Primus, you know. So if anyone has any music industry questions, any questions about bass in general, all the rest of it, please write it in the chat. Let's talk about it. If you have any questions about playing bass in a band, that also can be answered. Anything you know. Primus sucks. Yeah. Good basic power chords. Dark side. First you want an E note, and then you want a B. Great tape on the window. I actually don't know what that's from. I've got no idea what happened there. Anyway, keep the questions coming. It's actually warming up a little bit now, which is good. But that's because the sun is coming out. So keep the questions coming. All about music industry, all about bass, anything you want to know. I don't care what it is. Also, can you play the intro with harmony? What's the hardest song I play? Depends. It changes by the week. Don't forget, bass powers, that bass chords are actually epic. I just play diodes a lot. Yeah, dude. Bass chords are fantastic. Also, by the same thing, Lexus are really, 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 really important thing is don't overdo them as like. Alright, how do neoclassic solos work? A lot of harmonic minor I think they use, but you don't really see too many bass solos in that. I believe they use harmonic minor. I think that's it. What was it like starting out of the band as a bassist? It was alright. I was well prepared. You know, I know the root third inverted octave, but are there others? I mean, here's a question for you. Dark side, technically you could, like, if you got this, you could... No, wait, it would be technically... Would it? You'd play an A alongside it. Yeah, it'd have to be the... That's the one I wanted. Bees and break up, awesome. What kind of bass you playing? It's an Ibanez Black Eagle. So when you're starting in bands as a bassist, it depends on the band. It's all new experience. Every single band's different. But when you're managing a band, particularly as a bassist and trying to get somewhere in the music industry, the best way to think about it is if you are in a relationship with someone, say like me, I'm in a lovely relationship with a lovely lady, my absolute other half, right? So take that for example. A band is like being in a relationship with 4 or 5 other people. You've got to manage everyone's emotions. You've got to think about how they are on the day. You've got to think about... Then on top of it, you're in a band with these individuals. And when you're in a band with individuals, things come unstuck. And a band also means you're a business. So when I hear of bands being like, oh, we're in $50,000 worth of debt. Loser activities, dude. Any business that turns to you and goes, any business that ever turns to you and goes, hey, we're $700,000 in debt. No, you do not get in debt without choosing to be in debt. Unless it's like a health thing. We're talking about the music industry, you know? What if you joined... Do you mean me? I joined an anti-country band, or you mean another individual did? Has anyone offered you a band in debt? I don't... Look, here's the thing. If I have a suspicion, Lexus, that a band is in debt or in shaky territory financially, I will have nothing to do with them. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Birds of a feather flock together. Because if they've roped themselves into this negative financial situation, I've run businesses, I've been in countless bands, I've never once been in debt apart from a house loan. Well, 2 house loans technically. But it's not a bad debt. It's, is what it is. So the way to look at it is, it's kind of like if someone said, hey, do you want to come into our business? None of us are making any money. You have to spend a whole lot of time doing it. And when you travel, we're actually going to be... do you compose music? Do you have any songs? Yeah, if you go to Nikau. Alright. I went to say Nikau, but that's not. Sorry, Ray. Do you have any advice on singing and playing at the same time? I do practice over and over. Slow it down. I'm broken. Yeah, I'm not in debt. I'm doing okay financially. I don't really talk about it or care about it too much. Do you compose music? Yep. If you go onto my page, my channel, and then there's like a tab called music or something like that. I'm self-taught pianist. Awesome, dude. Wolfberg, what's my opinion on buying gear here? Gear? Ask a more specific question. A lot of people bolster gear as a way to improve, which is untrue. Deantown. Can't remember it. I should relearn it. I know like that little start bit. Whatever Joe Dart does. Joe Dart's fantastic, man. I love Joe Dart. I was looking forward to... Actually, it's a kind of funny you said Deantown. I was really looking forward to today. You should play Police on Bass. I think that's right. What is it? In SOS to the world. No. I hope that someone gets my... I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle, yeah. Well, I have an idea. I've been spoken to a Picard. Nah, never. What do you say the big red flags to look for when joining a band? Financial debt, consumption of substances or overuse of alcohol, being late all the time. Being late once or twice, I understand, traffic, family, all the rest of it. Not looking after your health and prioritizing your health. Not being candid. I find that the best people to work with are very candid about their mistakes and their own issues, and they're very candid about your mistakes and your issues. And I find like my partner is a very candid person, and I love her so much. It's amazing, right? That woman could not lie to save her life. Candid means a good way to think about candid is it just kind of is what it is, right? I think there's a better way to explain it. Let's have a look, Lexus. It's a good question. It's kind of honest and sincere and straightforward. So it's just like presented to you as it is. Do you wear your strap very low? No, I wear it quite high actually. So it's like a frankness is a good way to put it. How much would you recommend someone spending on it depends on their level. You know, there's a lot of famous bass players that don't use expensive equipment. I'm autistic, I'm just very... Yep, that's a thing. Absolutely. There's a lot of people that are autistic that do have that quality. It's very, very, very normal. And it can be an absolute superpower. Because when you're in the context of a musician that appreciates that, it makes it honest. It makes it a very good working environment. So my boss, Brett, from the start, he was always just like, hey, you... it's good and bad. It can be. But this is the thing, Lexus. If you can learn to be candid with your opinions on a business matter and a bit more reserved with your emotional kind of things, I find that's where the sweet spot is, because your emotions lie to you constantly. That's just the truth. Your emotions will always lie to you. A knee-jerk reaction doesn't mean that they are the way things are, you know? So candid on business or band matters are essential, but emotional matters never be candid, but give it a bit of time is what I'm trying to say. Riley, what is the main thing to do when growing on YouTube? I've posted 2 videos, 1 original and 1 cover. So far, I'm very early into it. Okay, that's a great question, man. Look, I'm not the biggest YouTuber in the world, even slightly. And I'll never claim to be. But at the exact same time, I'm quite big on Instagram. Like, hang on, there's me talking. One of the things is I'm quite big on Instagram, particularly for a bass player. Like, I don't know, maybe 15,000 followers or whatever it is. So my point is, it's not small. I get stuff for free. It's awesome, right? However, there's a lot of things you can do, Riley. So I'm looking at your channel now, right? Agree or disagree? Microtonal has become overhyped gimmick and it's getting corny. Completely agree. And hi, man. Hi, Holla. I completely agree. Chrissy Mashups. Completely agree. So, Riley, one of the things too, atonal in my blood. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Microtonal is not a bad thing, but people are looking at it completely the wrong way. They're just freaking out because of, I can't remember the band's name. They're freaking out because of that and they're experiencing something new, which is great. However, they're looking at it the complete wrong way. Right? So I would recommend Riley, the French one. I think they're French. I'm not sure. So Riley, better camera angles is one. Let's have a view. Yeah, better camera angles. If you can, I would do what the best thing you can do, Riley, is mimic the success of other people. That doesn't mean steal and copy content, but it means look at a video and analyze what they did that was successful. They are French Canadian. So I don't think there is nothing wrong with that band, and I think microtone always existed in other cultures. It also existed in Western music completely. People are completely overlooking that. You know, like we've had fretless bass. Like one of the most famous bass players of all time, old Mr. Pistorius, used microtonality constantly. Blues. Microtonality is everywhere in blues, and people don't realise that. Microtonality is in every single surf out. That's exactly right. So people are looking at it the wrong way. They're thinking that something new is here, when what they're doing is they're not looking at that being like, oh, that's a tonality I haven't explored. Wait, does that exist in what I already listened to? For instance, yeah, I think that, so Lexus, important to say, I don't think it's bad. I don't think I don't think there's anything wrong with the band. I think they're great. It's not bad music or anything. I just want glorifying that band's just, yeah, exactly. And it's this glorification of something that's already present. On this Black Eagle right here, we have microtonality, right? We have microtonality with the frets. It doesn't matter what people say. Reinventing the wheel. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong. It's great that people are hearing this stuff, but there's no reason to freak out. I reckon what we're going to have is this resurgence of people being like, oh, well, I'm going to buy a microtonal instrument, which is fine. Doesn't bother me. But then it's going to die out quite quick. That's my estimate. It's not going to become the norm at all. Otherwise, it would have already. You know? But what about the avant-garde? Zip ties. Well, you can do the zip tie thing, but I'll show you something, Lexus. This is a good little bass lesson for you. Right? If you've got these two notes, I don't know if I'll be able to do it on the Black Eagle, but we'll see. That's hard to bend. Let's tune it down a little bit, because it's got quite heavy gauge strings on here in comparison to the others, I believe. Let's just tune it down. Right? The only choice for J-Rock bass playing? Consistency. Alright, so. Right? If I go. I'm on an E note, so. If I've got this. Right? Roughly the same note, but let's say for the sake of the argument, if you got this and you got this, then everywhere in between is a microtonality. Right? It's no different from them going sliding, except it's like, it's the same thing, except it'll, but there's only two notes on the fretboard, right? Same thing. Microtonality is everywhere already on your instrument. You just have to utilize it. I use it a lot in my music and people can't even tell. I should tune. I didn't even tune before this morning. That's another thing too. People don't realise I don't tune that often. In band scenarios I do always. But if I record a video, I do in covers as well. But if I do a video in which it's just me playing, I'll sometimes not even tune. Which is a whole, people can say whatever they want about that, but my bass stays in tune for days. Yeah, so does mine. Mine's pretty good at. Man, my hands are forearm, everything's hurting today. It's great. I actually use slides for, cool dude. But it's the same thing, right? There was a video I did that went really viral on Instagram, I think. Using like the slide the whole, you know, using that. All that's microtonality. There's no difference. Now, I'm not going to claim to be good at slide or anything, but my point is that it's there. Maybe a hot take, but I feel people are getting... Thanks, Evan. You're very welcome. Have a great day, dude. Maybe a hot take, but I feel like people are getting into are about the same as Jacob Collier, to be less about the music and more about how superior. Yep, that can 100% be a thing. People will be pretentious when they can be pretentious at all points, right? And everyone's guilty of that. Everyone's guilty of that to some degree. Everyone thinks that their taste in things is better than someone else's taste in things. And sometimes that's true. If you have someone that's, and people will be like, it's subjective. It's truly not, to some degree. How often do you release a song? I'm releasing one about a month. What do you think of songwriting pace? I've been thought I could release, okay, so Ego, it depends, right? Ego, it depends. I could release a rap album in a day if I wanted to. Probably, I might even do it this Friday. No, I can't. I've got gigs. Next week, I could do a ambient EP, like 5 to 10 songs in 24 hours if I wanted to. What kind of audio interface do I use? I just use a Dark Glass Anagram. It goes into Reaper. That's 100% all I use. Songwriting pace, yeah, ambient trumpet EP. Actually, we need to message that woman. Also, it depends, Ego, on like if other people are involved and whatnot. But if I was by myself, I could release an EP in a day, like an ambient bass one. Probably a metal. Say I wanted to release like a full metal song without vocals, or even with vocals, I could do it in a day, easily. If I really wanted to, and I could do like a rap EP in easily 24 hours. I'd probably say maybe 8 if I wanted to. Maybe like, say a 5-song rap EP I could do in, I reckon, at least 24 hours. Ambient bass playing EP, 24 hours. Full metal band, maybe a week. I could, yeah, absolutely. It depends on how bad you want to do things. Also, limitations outside things. But if you want some, you'll do it. Ambient rap EP with trumpet, that sounds like my kind of music, mate. Anyway, get the music questions coming. Produce and release, yeah, well, that's a lot of work. Yeah, dude, it's completely possible. Completely possible. But when you produce something you're really trying on, would you spend longer? No. Hang on, it depends. It depends on the context. If I'm working with someone else, I may. So with Brett, we might spend a bit longer on something. However, Lexus, the problem is the longer you spend on something, this is the best way to think of it. Some of the most iconic songs ever written were written in like 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes. They didn't spend all that much on it. Like, I think some songs even were just like, oh, we'll just put it on the album. And that ends up being the biggest song. Sometimes that happens. Ever heard of Vinicius? No, I haven't heard of him at all. Maybe I've heard him and don't know who it was. I had a thought. I don't know what you think. But if I release a lot of songs and try to maintain it, is that a good foundation for building a career? No. Because you can release as much music as you want. Right? You could release 500 songs and no one ever hears them. So I have like a shoegaze project kind of band. I'm going to make it a band when I move. But I'm working on that. And I've written probably 5 songs. I've finished 2. It's not really at the front of what I'm trying to do at the moment. However, that won't go anywhere if all I do is release the songs and put them out there. I've put them on my YouTube, but the only reason I put them on YouTube, I didn't want to put them onto my profile in any context, but I had a bit of peer pressure from everyone online to just put them on there. So it is what it is, because they watched me live stream make it. I don't overthink too many things with music. The longer you take, generally, the worse the results at times. Unless you're buying like new gear or things to EQ with and blah, 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 all that stuff. But like some of the biggest songs in history are poorly recorded. Some of them are the opposite too. Like, don't get me wrong. See you, Riley. But yeah, I think I've talked to Darkside about it a tiny bit, I think. One of the things I'm going to do probably next week, I've got to be a bit cautious with my time because next week I have to move a little bit. So I've got to travel 7 hours in a day to go move. But next week I would like to do a 24-hour live stream. And within that 24-hour live stream, create just a complete ambient EP, all in one sitting, write it, and also finish it, then I upload it in one sitting. Because it's completely possible. There's people that say, oh, you have to take X amount of time to record, or you have to wait for this or that. It's like, just get it done. Wait, no one pressured you it anyway. You said you were going to post a song and never did. Oh, I didn't even realise I said I posted it. You are attacked, mate. That's completely correct. I'll send Kira a quick message. Feel attacked. Yeah. I didn't even know I said I posted, but if I did say that, then you're 100% correct, mate. Alright. So anyway, keep the questions coming. I nearly said something to you then, Darkside, then I realised I should probably message you about it instead. It's nothing bad. Anyway, keep the questions coming. Anything you want to know about the... Maybe I meant down the track and you harassed me, mate. Maybe that's what it was. No, I trust you. I trust you. Maybe I did say that. I don't doubt it. I forget things all the time. My apologies. Well, if I said I was going to post and you held me accountable, that's a good thing. And you harassed me into it. I wasn't ready to release it, mate. Anyway. Questions, please. Write them in. Anything you want to know about music. Anything you want to know about making roundabout. They are helpful when you drive, man. Okay, what is the bass situation? Is the Black Eagle headless going bye-bye? What of the... okay, so ideally, I'm not 100% sure. I think I'll regret if I sell the Black Eagle, right? If I keep the Black Eagle, I'm going to modify it. I'll probably sell the Iron Label and I may keep the headless. I was talking to my partner about it. And yeah, she said for me to keep two basses. Not 100% sure yet. Keep two basses, one for gigging, one for backup while I'm gigging. Which is a good idea. But I think I'll order a custom Kiesel 6-string. But the custom Kiesel will look a lot like the SR. Just a 6-string and a different scaling. And it'll have glow-in-the-dark inlays so I can use that at gigs. And a Pale Moon Ebony fretboard. Alright, keep the questions rolling. Keep going. So if a string has the main bass and the Iron Label is the backle, with the Black Eagle you can do maybe. I'm a huge fan of Spectre basses. I don't mind Spectres. I probably would never buy one. I've seen some cool ones kind of roll around Australia a little bit. Probably in the last 2 to 3 months, actually. They have a little bit of artwork on them. For a home studio, what kind of hardware do you actually need? Computer, some form of interface, and 2 speakers / monitors. That's all. That's all. You can get a lot of stuff for free these days. You can buy a lot of stuff secondhand, but computers number one. Technically, you could go buy it. Basses are a pain in the butt to get in Australia. Yeah, bass endorsements are even harder, dude. Trust me on that. How do you slap so clean? Great question, man. So what's today? Okay. Watashi. What country do I live? Australia, mate. So, Watashi, I'll do a slap bass workshop on Friday morning around the same time as this if you like. And you can ask me anything you want to know about slap bass. However, I will touch on it right now and have a quick discussion about it because it's quite important. A lot of the cleanness of slap bass, right? Country roads. Not taking covers right now. Country roads, take me home to the place. Is that the Nirvana bass? Technically, yeah. It's the Ibanez Black Eagle. So slap bass, a lot of it like the... A lot of that comes from muting, and it's a whole different discussion. Slap bass is like its own separate workshop that I would have to kind of talk about, particularly with double thumb. My action's pretty low. Just depends what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll do another workshop on Friday morning, and it'll be a slap bass on. My action is clank low. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, well, I would say it is too low then, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely, mate. No worries. Can you play the intros? Maybe. All right, let's see if we can do that by ear. No, maybe I have played it before because that's a bit of muscle memory then. Let's change your pick. Something like that. Mom and Dad went to a show. What? What is that? You tested me now. There we go. I played it before. Have you ever been in a band? I'm in a band now, man. I've been in tons of bands. Old Brett Gannon. Speed up. Yeah, I'll try and there we go. Oh man, I'm having some severe hand problems today, which is not fun. It's caused me a lot of pain actually. Respect. Yeah, dude, that was completely winged. I learned that song when I was about 13. Hail of the Mountain King. Oh no, that's Shepherd of Fire, isn't it? I actually like a band song. Order pizza, I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some pizza madness in the next few days, man. Nothing will stop me. What kind of pizza did you get? taken. Anyway, keep the questions coming. We've got like, how long we got left? Maybe an extra half an hour or so. Here's a good one for you. Keeping healthy while... Oh, dude! Yeah, okay. Being healthy on the road is a very, very difficult thing, and I'm guilty of it. Right. I'm not the healthiest on the road, however, I know how to do it. So, one, if you're tired, pull over and have a sleep somewhere safe. Road safety is a hard one. Always sleep at petrol stations under security where staff can see you in your car. If I think I'm going to be on the road a lot, I'll take a blanket and a pillow so I can sleep in my car. Try to never sleep out of your car unless you've got a hotel motel. If a hotel motel looks dodgy, don't stay there. Also, never leave your gear in the car because it can be broken into. Absolutely. If it can happen, it will happen. Eating on the road is very difficult. I'm extremely guilty of getting takeaway as I drive, because the thing is, with food like that, you can go through a drive-through. So one thing you can do is pack lunches, but that's harder. The other hard thing is you can pull in somewhere and order something and then just be like, oh, I'm going to eat this. But that adds like an extra half an hour to an hour on your trip, which is just, it's not fun, man. It is not fun at all. So, what do you do? One thing you can do as a trucker, it's so hard to eat. It is, dude, people will say to you that, all you've got to do is, we'll just buy something healthy. Dude, the amount of healthy options is quite difficult. And the other thing too is people will be like, why don't you buy something from like the bay of food? It's like, dude, that could have been sitting there a week and I'm going to end up sick on the road. That's worse than eating something bad. Could you recommend some exercises to warm up, stretch your hands? Yeah, man, I'm having some hand problems today, so I'm the man for the job. Something that does help is heat packs as well for warming up your hands. I've got one upstairs I was using a second ago, just before this. A couple of stretches you can do is those ones, just straight out and then go around in circles. That helps a fair bit because you do use your wrists a lot. You can do that for both. I find that my right hand, so my plucking hand, doesn't get much benefit from that. Straight out like that, pull your hand back slightly, don't do it too much. Do that on both hands, I find that's good. Going above, same thing. Because you gotta remember, if you're standing, making myself yawn. If you're standing, you're using your shoulders a lot at the same time. And then out like that is also good, don't put too much pressure. Sometimes you can do like little finger ones if you're feeling quite tight in the fingers. But the main thing about that is it's, a lot of not touching the base before you touch the base. And I should do more warm-ups than I do. Like I've got a pain in here today because I overplayed yesterday completely. I've been overplaying for 3 months now. So, question is warm-ups on the base though is just the old 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you can also try something like the major scale. Move it around. Play slow. But then for this hand, always think about Deantown, like try and get that consistent. Gallops. There's a reason I play the Trooper so much. It's perfect because you've got Thanks, Jackie. Send you love. Thanks, man. Thank you so much for joining in and having a quick combo with me. Anyway, I've got to figure out too, before I move, how many hours on live streams I've got to get. Anyway, keep the questions going. We're going to close up in a sec. So any questions you have? I got food poisoning on the Warrior home from it. I was sick for days. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Sometimes it's better to get fast food so you don't get sick. So like, I don't recommend McDonald's. However, I recommend McDonald's over KFC, and sometimes I actually recommend McDonald's over something like Subway. McDonald's seems to be quite reliable in not giving you food poisoning, I've found. Pizzas on the road can be a bit iffy. There's so many things like that on the road where it's just like you learn your body as well. You just never want to be on the road and sick. It'll add 10 hours to your trip sometimes because you're pulling over and vomiting or worse. But yeah, the primary thing is we want to avoid food poisoning. If you can, eat packaged stuff. Get fruit if you can, but the problem is fruit won't maintain in your car. So it's difficult, man. It is a difficult game. Completely. I got food poisoning from a Dodge. Yeah, dude, I would not eat. Okay, one of my favorite songs that make me happy. It's Not Living If It's Not With You by the 1975. Cobra Jeans, I'm not taking any requests at the moment. There's a few reasons for that, but I'm not taking any currently. But yeah, I would not eat Chinese food on the road for a few reasons. Primary one is I have a bad history of Chinese food and food poisoning, so I wouldn't do it. It's kind of like locked into my memory now. It's just the way it goes sometimes, you know. But is what it is. Is what it is. How do you handle wacky bandmate meltdowns on the road? I don't associate with people that will put me in an environment where I have to manage their own emotions, because they don't have to manage mine, right? That's the next thing is I left a band once because it was a very promising band too, because the singer couldn't manage his emotions and all the rest of it. Okay, here's something a lot of people don't know. Dark side, I'll be very candid with this. If I can manage my emotions when I'm going through sleeping on a mattress in a room without any sleep, so back August through to probably November, a little bit of December, I had no sleep. Ever. And you can see that in videos. If you go back to that time thing, have a look under my eyes. They're just like tired all the time, right? And no one knew in the room behind where I was filming. I was on a mattress. I was barely eating. But if I was able to do that and look after Rocket and go and travel 4 to 5 hours for a band practice, amongst other stresses and whatnot, and I can manage my emotions, and I have a personality disorder, which I've talked about a little bit. I won't go into it too much. But if I have a personality disorder, then someone without that can do it with less pressure. You know what I mean? We're all adults. We all got our own stuff going on. If the aim of the game is throwing you off center, it's fine. There's been times I've walked into the room with Brett, and Brett hasn't had the best day, and Brett gets the job done, and Brett's fantastic at his job, and Brett's a fantastic boss. There's not a bad word I can say, even slightly, about him. And that's the thing. Brett is fantastic at it. He's fantastic at the compartmentalization. I've seen it numerous times. Great guy. Yeah, I thought it was... Yeah, I can't really say too much about that part on stream, but I don't hang around that stuff, dude. I don't hang around it. I think, yeah, just... loser activities. Soundgarden song. That's way higher up than I thought it'd be. I was in what I thought was a great band, and then everyone got weird. Yeah, that happens. That does happen, man. That does happen. It's kind of like some relationships, not all. Some people reveal their true colours later on, and it's quite alarming. Oh, sorry. I'll play a Soundgarden one. Come. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up quite soon. In a little bit. Maybe like 10 minutes or so. Just take any final questions I had. As usual, these live streams are very productive at the beginning. Then they kind of like peter out into nothing, which is fine. That's just the game. Right? Alright. In your opinion, what's more important, arpeggio or scales? Huh. Scales. Completely. Because I think what happens is, you can see it with some players, is, so they're one in the same, in a way, right? In a way. Like arpeggios, Jackie, how you doing it? Peter, how you going, man? Mr. Simon himself. What's more important? So, I feel like arpeggios are more musical. So, yes. It's a hard question, because I think of them the same way. I think of arpeggios are just part of a scale, and scales are part of an arpeggio. It's kind of like a yin and yang part of everything. So, it's a very difficult question. But if I was a student and I had to... if I had a student and they said you can only teach them one thing out of the two, I would choose scales. Even though I use arpeggios all the time. Peter in the house, that's right. Actually, after this, I'm going to go and... I've got to record a video, but then I'm going to do some reading. I might actually read one of my Christian books, which is quite something I've been putting off for a little bit. I've been terrible with my reading lately. I need to get that under control. I've been using my phone a fair bit of a night, because it's the only way I can communicate to my partner until I move up there. I've got to go up and do all that stuff this weekend. But, yeah, it's all good, is what it is. But I gotta add up some YouTube stuff and figure out how long I've got till I can get paid by YouTube. Anyway, any questions about bass or the music industry? Throw them in. This is the home stretch. My mouse is really dirty as well. I'll jump on later and probably do a recording live stream. I should live stream my studio work that I do as well. And my approach to how I record particular things. Screens have a bigger effect on us than we think. Yeah, screens do, absolutely. What amp? I never use an amp. I use a Dark Glass Anagram. That's it. That's all I ever use. I used to use a Helix. Sometimes I use the Joey Sturgis Bass Forge Bone Crusher. They sent it to me, and I had to sign a contract, and I've been in there advertising for a while now. But screens and that, yeah, man, screens have you mean anti-Jake stream? Probably maybe 4 hours away, man. Mate, you might be able to be included in that. I want to finish somebody else. There's a few things I got to do. I've got to re-record the vocals, but I want to do that off stream. But I'll probably start writing another thing for the July and whatnot. Get that out of the way. Get the job done. But I've got to do a lot of maths this morning. That's gonna be this morning's task, is get this maths done. Figure out what I have to do before a certain date, which is the 5th and the 6th of September. Is my deadline. So that's fun. That's fun, right? It's gonna be a big job. I have to work on my electric. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. You know what? Send me through an electric kazoo note that's in scale, and I'll just stretch it with a lot of reverb and delay and make that the ambient part. That'll work. I'll pitch shift it if I have to. All right. Last chance for questions. How much of the equipment you use is through company brand deals? That's a great question. All right, hang on. Let me think. That's a great question. 1, 2, 3. Maybe, dude, hang on. Dude, you've almost got me swearing because, like, not in the act, like, just like flabbergasted. Yeah, I've never thought of that. Okay, hang on. Okay, we got to take it from. It's more than 40%, I think. Hang on. Let me have a thing. Oh no, there's more. There's okay. Oh, all right. Let me have a think. If I'm on the road, if I go to play a gig, it is a fair bit. It is a fair bit. It's more than I thought, and the more I'm going over it, the more I'm realizing. Okay. Oh, there's more upstairs too. Okay, hang on. I gotta play a show this weekend. I gotta go in my head what I'm taking. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe like 80% might be correct. No, probably 85. If I include something upstairs that I don't take all that often. But like, no, dude, it's probably 85, 90%. Through brand stuff. The exception is, so let's go through the exceptions. Cables, I haven't really sought out a cable endorsement, which I should do. Cables, strings, and bass endorsement and case endorsement. That's it. Everything else is endorsement. So electronics and all the rest of it. I should probably send a thing to Darkglass. 85. Well, this is the thing too. Like, the next big ones is I should write a thing to Ibanez. I should write a thing to Stringjoy, which, you know, that's a whole thing, right? But if I get a 6 string, it's hard to do the Stringjoy ones. Ugh. So, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, kind of suckering for a string endorsement at the moment. But I never have to worry about guitar picks for the rest of my entire life. I don't have to really worry about pickups. I don't have to worry about like in-ear monitors and all that. Yeah, there's a fair few. Man, that I've... it's a whole conversation, right? Alright, so we're going to stop it there. Let's take that out. I've got to add up this stuff for the... this is the other thing too. Part of being a musician sometimes. Would I recommend any? Probably like... well, it depends what you're using, Mr. Peter. What are you currently using? Do you want to explore different options is the other thing. You know, that's the other thing too. Do you even want to explore other options? September 5th. 17 weeks. You just get Amazon ones. I'd probably try some D'Addarios. They kind of try and trust. Elixirs are cool, man. If you haven't tried, yeah, okay, don't get blisters. That's number one. You know, you don't want blisters, dude. Don't do that. I'm gonna get my pizza later, hater. Just with that question you had. Yeah, it wasn't a question. It was just a statement.
Someone said something about you. That's all.
Anyway. Okay, Corinne, try some new things biblically. If you can afford it, try some coded strings. Something different. Not like different colour, but like try, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, love you all. See you. That's the end of that one. You too.